How would you define being woke?
God.
Intensely annoying. There's forms of political correctness that I find utterly stifling. It cuts out the possibility for dialogue. This whole idea of a cancel culture terrifies me.
How you doing, guys? Do you want to tell us why you're here? Can you tell us why you're still wearing a mask? Is that for COVID or to protect your identity? Oh. Touch my...
Do not choke me!
Don't grab the Look at her. So she's the victim now. She's the victim. Look at the victim. She's the victim. They're consolidating the victim. It's no surprise.
Your U.S. women's soccer team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports?
The journalist referenced the embarrassing 2017 defeat where an under-15 boys squad beat Rapinoe and the U.S. women's national soccer team 5-2.
Why should trans people compete against young girls? Do you not think that they're going to get hurt? Are they going to get hurt?
The retired soccer star is known for supporting biological men competing against women.
The most urgent LGBTQAI+ issue is the attack on trans people.
I'm not going to deny trans people as women.
Can womanhood then just be appropriated? Someone can then say, I am what you are. So Dylan Mulvaney, who's a biological man who thinks he's a preteen woman, is he a woman?
I feel like I'm just not in the position to tell him he's not a woman. If he says, if they say that they are a woman, I have no, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, are you a woman? Are you a man? That's nothing to do with me, honestly.
Got it. So if I'm 30, if I said I was 12, would you acknowledge that?
Yes. Huh? I would. It's kind of like a mental illness. Like, you know how someone could be 30 and they could truly believe they're 12. Like, those people really exist. It's a mental illness.
Great point. So if somebody, you're in healthcare, came to you and they said, I'm anorexic, so I think I'm fat. And they said, I want liposuction. Should you give them that surgery?
Of course not, because that would be compromising their actual health.
Hold on. But you just said that we have to affirm somebody's mental illness. They want liposuction. Why shouldn't they get it? Wouldn't it make more sense to treat the person and say, you're not what you think you are, rather than affirming the lie that they think there's something else?
I believe that he's gay.
That's how he identifies.
How do you identify?
Actually, I identify as...
Oh, here we go. It's that long plethora of, oh my God.
Wait for it.
I will. Let me get a chair.
This senator just destroyed this woke woman with simple facts.
Can men get pregnant?
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Define what a woman is.
Relevance, point of order.
Thank you very much.
It is relevant and point of order not recognized. I would like you to answer that because you are speaking on behalf of a bill that involves pregnant women, and I would like to get your take on that.
I'm speaking in opposition to a bill related to the domestic violence against people who are pregnant.
Against a woman who is pregnant. That's in the bill, not people, woman. So I would like you to explain in your definition what a woman is.
There are people who identify as different genders who are capable of getting pregnant. I am not going to feed more into the bigotry of that question.
Just a few short years ago, we knew what a woman was. We knew men could not get pregnant. I still believe they cannot get pregnant. I was called a bigot this morning because of that philosophy. We have to keep telling the truth that God created a male and female, and real men protect real women.
Are men and women equal? Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything.
Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into, the way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
You know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mothers?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What? What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language.
To include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't identify as women but can become pregnant.
Then in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman.
You are trying to deny someone of their identity and deny what their life experience is. And that doesn't seem like a moral stance to me.
I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue. And I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity. Do you?
You are not a medical professional, and abortion and pregnancy
No, I'm
is
just
a
talking about
medical
my identity.
concern. That's not your identity.
I promise you that's my identity.
Should trans women be included in feminist conversations? How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question? Trans women are women.
Hell no to the no.
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete. So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to like athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces. Again, we work very hard for the little opportunity there is in the space because we're not as entertaining as the men. Sorry, we're just not. And so it's like you're going to take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is we can't compete. We can't. Like, I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's gonna body me, even if I have years more of training. And so it's like you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given and we all work so hard for, and you're just giving it back to biological guys. It's like this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on, Minnie.
Sorry,
Eli.
confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches.
Gotcha, bitch.
Travis Allen, he was a girls' soccer coach at Randolph Union Middle School in Vermont. He was just suspended from his job without pay because he complained about a male student looming around the girls' locker room. Then the school punished Travis Allen's daughter, Blake Allen, for speaking about it too. Travis, you complained about a man in the women's locker room and you were punished?
Correct. I made a social media post that referred to the male student as a male, and I was punished because I misgendered him.
Blake Allen, what did you do wrong in the eyes of the school and how were you punished?
I was in the locker room and the trans student walked in. The rest of the team was in there. I was really uncomfortable and I left, and I told the school and they just shut me down and said there's nothing they could do, and I was later suspended.
How old were you when this happened?
I'm 14, I'm a freshman.
And when you complained about a dude in the girls' locker room, you got suspended?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and my pronouns are she, they, z.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I am gender fluid.
But of course you are.
But I'm the type of gender fluid who never goes fully into man.
Everybody knows you never go full.
Man. Maybe I'll go fully into woman, but I'll never go fully into man. But I will go into mask.
What?
So when I'm feeling, feminine, my pronouns are she, her. When I'm feeling a little less feminine, but still feminine, it's going to be she, they. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I am Zeezer.
That's not a real thing.
That is because to me, personally, and this isn't kosher, this isn't orthodox, I personally view Zem to be somewhat masculine? Like he, him, except you put a little Z, because, it's a little different. So like you say like he's over there, just say Z's over there. So as I wake up on this lazy Sunday afternoon, my pronouns today are Zeezer.
Yo, killing me with this. We have a new superstar, the Canada midfielder Quinn. Is the first transgender, non-binary footballer to play in the Women's World Cup. Hang on a second, hang on. Is she they, whatever? Is she a biological male? No, it turned out she's a biological female.
Not she, so.
So what is she? She is a transgender non-binary. Mm-hmm. What is that? How can you be transgender and non-binary?
Because that's what they are.
I just want to get my head around this. If you're no longer identifying as a woman, what are you doing playing in the Women's World Cup? She doesn't qualify. They don't qualify, even though there's only one of them. They don't qualify for the Women's World Cup because they used to be a woman, but now they don't want to be a woman. So now we have to call them they for being a transgender, even though they're non-binary, and they're still playing in the Women's World Cup, and we're all supposed to go, well done, Quinn, what a moment! What a moment, but no one's quite sure what we're celebrating.
Total free world. We're advocates of not mistreating little children to death. That's the position that we oppose, the F them kids position. Third time I've heard it today. What's that? F them kids? We do think that that's what it's about. We think that the reason people like yourself like abortion is because you hate kids. And because you hate God who created those kids and made them in his image.
I think murder's pretty cool.
Murder's cool?
Gender dysphoria of the type that you described is relatively rare. But if you leave
kids alone till they're 19 or 18, 80 to 90% of them settle into their biological identity, although about 80% of them are also homosexual in their orientation. The pathway for him, before this was all politicized, was you'd have a child who was gender non-conforming temperamentally, somewhat like you were. You didn't have a pattern of female interests, and then prone to depression and anxiety, and then that combination would produce this gender dysphoria, and that would become quite intense around the dawn of puberty. But if you just backed the hell off and waited, those kids would settle into their body, but generally adopt a homosexual orientation. Gender dysphoria of the type that you described is relatively rare, but if you leave kids alone till they're 19 or 18, 80 to 90% of them settle into their biological identity, although about 80% of them are also homosexual in their orientation. The pathway for him, before this was all politicized, was you'd have a child who was gender non-conforming temperamentally, somewhat like you were. You didn't have a pattern of female interests, and then prone to depression and anxiety, and then that combination would produce this gender dysphoria, and that would become quite intense around the dawn of puberty. But if you just backed the hell off and waited, those kids would settle into their body, but generally adopt a homosexual orientation.
About the schools, our kids, they sleep 8 hours, right? They wake up morning, they go to the school, they spend there like 8-9 hours, and we don't know with who they spend time. Maybe these teachers, you don't even know what they're thinking, what they have on their mind, and you let them to give education to your kids. It's very dangerous. If you not agree with these teachers on your life position, but you let them teach your kids, and when they become 16, you want they become like you. This is don't work. You have to control who teach your kids, and a lot of people miss this. A lot of crazy people, they're working in school too, and they give education to your kids. But if you talk one-on-one with them, you're not gonna spend with them even 5 minutes. But they spend with your kids 8 hours every day. It's like very dangerous thing. Yeah. You have to control this.